I was very lucky to have the chance to watch Jon Jandai live on TEDx when he did it in Chiang Mai. That was, I think, his second TEDx speech. He delivered it in Thai, but we have to wear those headsets so we could understand. It was translated in English. But I really loved the first speech that he gave in English in TEDx Doi Sutep. But right now, we are so lucky because he is here with us today. So, our guest speaker is originally from Yasothon province, Thailand, and has been farming all of his life. He began earthen homes on his family farm in 1997. He co-founded the Pan Pan in 2003 and is most interested in preserving heritage seeds. During his younger days, John was drawn by the bright lights and of big cities and left his family farm to seek richness in Bangkok. But after a number of years there, he decided to return to his village, and there he started experimenting with the different ways to build houses and, of course, to do farming. He began teaching the methods to other villagers as he continues to create a movement of creating sustainable and affordable living in the countryside. His TEDx video has garnered 11 million views, making him the 32nd most viewed TEDx video in the world. Oh yes, I did a count and I ranked them, and it's the most viewed TEDx video in Thailand. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to have with us farmer, earthen builder, seed saver, teacher, philosopher, father, community activist, and storyteller, Mr. Jon Jandai.
Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, I don't feel like I'm a speaker because I never think that I will be a speaker. I can speak in front of people in my life. So when I was a kid, I have a lot of fear in my life. I'm very shy person. I think many Northeastern or Thai people will be like me because we were taught that we are low, we are uneducated. So we need to surrender. We need to be low all the time. That's the way we grew up with. And then when I went to Bangkok, it's very hard for me because I'm too shy to go apply for a job. I'm very shy. Even go buy food. I don't want to speak Thai because I'm afraid that my Laos language will come out and people will tease me. So that's the big fear in my generation at that time. We don't want people to tease us. And that make very big impact for our life, especially me. So I don't want to be close to a stranger. I don't want to talk in different language much. I learned English when I was in primary school until I tried to finish university, but I did not finish university. But I cannot speak English because I'm so shy. But one day, after I went back home, I start to go back to think about self-reliance. I learned how to grow my own food, learn how to make my own house, learn how to make my own daily needs, learn how to do my self-healing. When I can do this thing, I discovered that my fear decreased very fast. I feel more confident. I don't worry about other people much. I feel I'm myself. I'm unique. I may be different from other people, but I'm myself. So after that, I feel more confident. I changed my life a lot. After I start to practice my skill to be able to rely on myself. I discovered that what makes me feel low self-esteem is I have no ability to help myself. What I learned from the school is nothing to make me feel confident. All of things I learned from the school just make me feel low. Because what I learned, I did not understand anything. I remember it, but I did not understand it. But when I start to do things, I understand it. When I understand things, fear disappear very fast. Fear decrease very fast from my life. And then when I start Pan in Chiang Mai, I want to stop doing earthen building because many people can do building because it's so easy to build a house with mud. Even kids can build their own house. I think I want to do earthen building. I want to do seed saving after that. So I moved to Chiang Mai. And when I was in Chiang Mai, I met many people who are interested about building and seed saving and communities. And one day, there's a group of people who started TedX in Chiang Mai contact me. They said they want me to speak on TedX event in Chiang Mai. They said I can speak only 15 minutes, but I have to speak everything that I'm doing. So I think, oh, I don't want to speak because it's so tiny of time. I cannot explain everything. But my wife said that, oh, you need to help them because TEDx in Chiang Mai, there are not many Thai people talk, mainly foreigners. So they want some Thai people to join that. I don't think that people gonna listen to me because they have to listen to things that I worry a lot. The first thing is my English is not very good because in my life, I learned English by myself. I have no teacher because I grew up in the temple. My education is like a self-learning mainly. Even when I went to university in Ramkhamhaeng University, but I never go to the class, English class. I read book by myself. So my English is like the taxi driver English. They learn English from listening and talking with no grammar. So I don't know much about grammar. I cannot speak English perfectly. That makes me feel very worried. But I think there are maybe not many people in that event. So my wife said, oh, normally people don't know what is TEDx, so you just go and talk. So I decided to go to the TEDx at that time. And the second thing is what I'm doing is very simple and it's old technique, old way of living. So I don't think new generation will interested about what I'm doing because many people interested about internet, about something civilized, something fancy, some new technology or something like that. But what I'm doing is something different, opposite. That make me feel like I don't want to talk in TEDx. And then I don't think people will listen to me. But I make decision to join them anyway. So when I talk in the stage, I did not plan anything. I very worried that they said I need to train first. I need to go to the like a training. They want me to make the what do you call, like you make the topic and then make the storyboard or something like that. Because I'm not a speaker, I'm not a very educated people. When I try to talk about this topic, sometimes I jump to another topic easily. because I have no skill about talking in public much. So I just try to ignore what they try to talk, try to train me, because I cannot do that. So on the stage, I just talk about what I used to do, what I'm doing. I tell my story mainly. So I don't need to prepare anything. Just tell what I used to do, what I used to think, what I'm doing. So it's very easy for me because no preparation, no prepare anything. Until now, I did a lot of training. I went a lot of many places to talk. But in my life, I never prepare anything. Many times, I'm getting old. I forgot things very fast. When I got on the stage, I don't know what's the topic I have to talk that day. So I forgot because they sent mail to me for a long time and I forgot. So I need to ask them on the stage, what is the topic today? So that's what happened with me, because what I'm talking is about what I did in my past. So I don't need to prepare. I just tell the story of myself. It's quite easy for me to do that. And then what I learned from this event, from this experience, is I don't need to be a good speaker. I don't need to speak very good English. You can see that people can understand me even I speak many many wrong words in my language, but people can understand me. So now I start to talk more because there are many people who learn English in Thailand, but they cannot speak, they cannot talk because they're afraid that they're gonna speak the wrong word, the wrong sentence. So I want to show people that even I'm wrong, but it's okay to talk. Because when we keep talking and talking, we understand more, we will learn more. Every time after talking, people tell me that, oh, you should not say this word. That is a good way to learn. I remember very well when people tell me that, oh, this word is not right for this situation or something like that. Is the real way of learning for me, because I'm not academic person. So I did not learn in the system very fast. So I learn in natural way mainly. So now I did YouTube channel in English too, to show people that even you speak not correct English, but you can talk to people. Because communication is very important thing. The message that we want to communicate is more important than grammar or language. So when we try to speak, even my language is not very good, it improves my self-esteem very well. I have more confidence than before now. I can speak with many thousand people with no shy feeling like before. Because I think when I speak wrong word, wrong language, people know that it's wrong. But I know that too when people told me. So I learned a lot when people told me that I used the wrong word. I don't know anything about tense, about grammar, about anything like that. I learned when I was in the school. I read a lot of books, but I always forget all of it. Because the way we learn to remember, but we never learn to understand it or to use it. We learn English from primary school until university, but we never listen to foreigner speak their language. So it's very hard for us to speak good English. So this is the biggest worry before I went to the TEDx stage. I worry about language, the most worry thing at that time. But my experience is, if I'm afraid of anything, I have to do that thing. That's the way I conquer myself. Before that, I'm shy. I feel bad in many things, but I always run away from myself. If I don't like something, I always run away from it. When I go apply for a job, they have an appointment with me to interview. I'm too shy, so I keep postpone the interview, the appointment, and then finally I just don't go. That's the way I run away from myself. When I'm afraid of the darkness, I always turn on the light to see the light, so I can have less fear. So that's the way I always did in my life. And I discovered that to do that, I will have more fear. Fear will accumulate more and more and more in my life. And then I cannot do anything because fear controls me completely. So when I start to think about confront fear, facing it, when I feel very shy to speak English in public, I just make decision to go and speak and do whatever. So that helped me a lot. That changed my life a lot. I think TEDx stage, TEDx event that time encouraged me, improved me a lot. It helped my self-esteem grow bigger and bigger. And now I feel like I'm a different person. So I'm not a good speaker. I just tell story of my experience. I cannot think complicated. I cannot do things very interesting. I cannot bring the normal story to make it very interesting like a many good speaker. I cannot do that. But I don't need to do that. So I just do what I can do. So when I make decision to do something like this, it helped me a lot to understand myself better. How to confront myself, how to face myself is the good tools for me to understand myself, to solve my problem. So if we have a chance to talk in public, don't hesitate. If you feel fear, just go. And then you will understand it. There's nothing there. When you understand it, you have less fear. So TEDx event at that time helped to change my life a lot. Now I can go anywhere. I can talk anything. I feel no shy like before, no shy feeling like before. So this is the benefit that I got from TEDx. Now I brave enough to open the English channel in YouTube. I know that my English did not improve fast like normal people because I'm old. I did not learn things fast anymore, but I keep doing to encourage people to see that even you're not good, but you can do it. So this is what I want to tell people, that just do it. When we do it, you will see the different picture, different feeling, different understanding from reading and listening. It's very different. Doing it, facing it is the best way to learn. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John.
You're
I am
welcome.
your interviewer today. We will spend like maybe 7 to 10 minutes to understand how you overcome your fear. And I want you to also encourage people over here, the audience over here, that we want to learn and improve the English, especially as a communication tool. Your story was very inspiring, John, and I'm a big fan
Thank
of you,
you.
as I told you earlier about the earthen house. Now, let's come to the interview part. You were, as I read your story, you were a security guard, you were a factory worker, you were a construction worker, and those kind of things. And you said you never learned a proper English from the school. When you first decided to learn English, when was that, and what inspired you to do that?
Try to learn English before, because I married to American woman the first time, but she don't speak English with me much. She speak Thai. We live together, we speak Thai. And then after that, we divorced, and I married with another American woman again. And she speaks Thai too. So, speaking English. But what helped me to speak more English or use more English is when I do earthen building. When I start to do earthen building, there are more foreigners came to learn with me. So foreigners, they came to the class and they learn how to build with me. And I cannot speak English. So we use a lot of hand language, a lot of things. And every day, I learn every day. So that is the first time I think about I improve my English a lot. When we use it, we learn it. But if we don't need to use it, we try to learn, but we never understand anything.
And we forget,
so
right?
It's very important thing to think. Yeah.
Actually, for Thai students here, we have learned English every year, and it's like a 12 years at least.
When I do earthen building, it's the best time for me. Sorry, my connection has some problem. Can you speak again, please?
I said that in Thailand, Thai students, we learn at least 12 years of English as a subject. Actually, we learned quite a lot, but we didn't have opportunity to speak. And what you're saying is you learn by doing, and you speak a lot, and you use every opportunity to speak. Is that right?
Yeah. Because I remember that when I learned in the school, we read a lot of grammar. So mainly it's grammar in the school. But I forgot everything I learned. I used to tear out the dictionary novice in the temple. My English subject, I bought one small dictionary. I tear off one page per day, and I try to recite it, remember it on the way when I went to collecting arms. So I try to remember. I remember all of it, but not really long. I went back to look at those words. I cannot remember anything. So it wastes of time to try to remember it. But when we try to use it, it creates understanding, and I cannot forget it at all after that. So I like to learn from using it or facing it more.
And from that experience, then you turned out to be a speaker, and you said that you talk in front of the people, like now with that million views, right? And what was your technique when you come up to speak in front of the people? What was in your mind? You said just do it, and anything else?
When I talk, I try to see people, look at the face of people, try to understand what do they want to listen to, because there are so many things in my life. I can talk about many things about dimension in my life, so I don't know which topic, which dimension that they want to listen. So I will talk something in general first and try to see their face, try to see their eye, which topic that they're interested in more. If they focus on one topic, so I can speak more about that. So that everything I speak is about what I did.
So one of your techniques is to try to understand the audience and get the reaction from them.
Yeah.
So
That's the beginning of it.
Okay. And you said that afterwards you did a lot of training. Where did you train? Proper training. Where did you learn a proper training?
The connection is
speaking?
Lost a little bit. Can you try again?
Okay. You did a lot of training.
No, I never learned.
Okay.
I never learned about the training, about technique, about thing at all. The first time we start to do earthen building workshop, I have no experience, no idea. I did not talk much. I just bring people to do it and work and do it and work. And then I try to improve the technique after that. I try to observe people, which way they can understand easily, which way can I explain to them easily. So every month I have workshop like that. So I learn from what I'm doing.
And who else gave you some feedback about your workshop, your speaking?
Mainly the most of participants, they will tell me a lot because I told them every time when we had workshop in the past that I'm not a teacher. I just show my experience. If you have another thing better than this, let's learn together and try and experiment together. And then I don't feel like I'm a teacher at all. We take and chill around, and that's the way life is. We just live together and learn together. It's fun, and we develop a lot in that way.
Yeah. So that's why, and that's how you become more natural in speaking in front of people. And I noticed one thing, Jon, that you speak with passion. You speak about something you know very well and you're happy. I can see from your eyes. And that's the reason you don't have the script, right?
Yeah, because I did it a lot. I did it many times. So like a building, I built more than 300 buildings in my life in 20 years, 30 years. So when I look at the building, I know everything. When I talk about it, I can talk about any aspect of it. About farming, I know a lot because I do farming all my life. So I can talk a lot about farming technique and things and problems and solution. So I have enough information, enough experience to share. So I just share what. Please again.
And what I like most about you, when you say that fear is something you have to face, and then you have to just do it anyway. I think that's really important for all of us here to learn from you, to overcome the fear, especially the fear of public speaking. Because probably it's one of the top 3, right, in the world for every people. They just fear of public speaking.
Yeah.
And another thing is you said about message is more important than the language itself. So basically you're saying that even though we don't know much about grammar, but at least you can communicate with people, right?
Yeah. Because when we don't know the grammar, we don't know the big word to explain. I try to use the small word that I know to explain the big thing. So when I talk, sometimes it can take longer time than normal people because I need to use many small words to explain the big meaning. So it takes longer time. But people can understand it. People can get idea. And I try to give more example for the talk and that topics. So people can see the picture more. They can understand it more.
Okay. Good. I think we come to the at the end of the interviewing, and what I'd like you to say something to inspire the audience here. Jon?
Now.
Okay, we come to the end of the interview. We would like to hear some techniques or some message from you to inspire the audience to learn and practice English in Thai society.
I think for Thai people, we have the same problem. Our problem is shy. We're so shy to speak. Our education system taught us to listen and obey, not argue. So that makes us feel low and not brave enough. So we need to break this wall in our life. We need to see the different picture from now, because those way of thinking, it doesn't work in the new era. We need to change new thing. English is a language that opens us to the big world. So the best way to learn English now is to listen more, to use it more. We can learn from YouTube easily, and if you live with family and you have a space in your house, you can be a member of WOOF. You can be a WOOF host, building worker on organic farm. You can be a warm shower host or something like that. So foreigner can come and stay with you. And then that's the way you can communicate, you can learn. Learn language is not about language, it's about culture. If you understand only language but you don't understand culture, you cannot understand the real meaning of many topics that they talk. So culture, language, and the way of thinking is combined together. That's the way we can understand together. If we understand this thing together, even we are not very good, but we can see more clear picture easily. We can understand each other easily.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Let's give a big round of applause to Jon Jandai. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Let me pass the control back to the MC.
Thank you very much once again. Let's give a round of applause to Jon Jandai and Tony for that interview.